Cathy Franklin.
Hi.
How are you?
Puppy in the background.
What?
Sounds like you have a puppy in the background.
Got two puppies in the background. One is amazing and one is like this complete pain, so I may have to throw my bottle of Hillrock at him. Guys, well, I got another one. I'll go get it.
I'm prepared for tonight.
You're prepared. All right, so let's do some full disclosure. So you and I have been friends since the 90s.
We met a week before Otto was born. He was born July 7th, 1992.
And how old is he?
He is 27. And I was so pregnant, and I had bought our co-op at 6060 79th Street.
That's right.
Magnificently renovated with a very pregnant mother and then with a newborn. We used to leave Otto in the lobby, I can't say for how many hours. And you made us the most beautiful home there.
You told me what a co-op was. I didn't even understand what a co-op was. I brought myself in from Brooklyn and people were like, service entrance. And I'm like, no, I'm a good guy. They're like, no, service entrance. So we've known each other that long, and everyone, if they don't already know or they've been living under some big boulder, you and your team, the amazing team of everyone, Alexis, right? Yep. You were Corcoran's #1 broker for 2019. You sold
$509 million.
So that's $1/2 of $1 billion.
Yeah.
And you are still one of the most loyal and gracious people I ever met. Like, considering how you are in the industry and you are still as down to earth as you are, I think that there's something in the Hillrock.
No, but the feeling's mutual because for those out there who don't know it, I always recommend Lee, and my clients love him. And he's done the most amazing job for so many of them. But you also do everything for my family, our townhouse in New York, work on our farm here at Hillrock, co-ops. You always put your heart and soul and your fabulous aesthetic and design into everything for my family and all my clients. And even people that I'll just meet and they'll say, oh my God, do you know Lee Stahl?
I don't even want to mention names, but I did email our friends from 65th Street the other day because I was driving through Quag and I was thinking of her, and I was like, I wonder how she's doing, and I'm waiting to hear back. I think they're probably in Palm Beach.
They're in Palm Beach.
Yeah, but she's like the nicest thing on planet Earth.
Yes.
She's so sweet. And so when most people are looking for a hobby, knitting, tennis comes to mind, but you and Jeffrey.
We have a fourth baby. It's Hillrock. And it's our passion. We founded it over a decade ago, and we grow all of our own grain. We have 3 farming operations, make all of our whiskey, have the first purpose-built malt house and American distillery. And we're very fortunate. We are deemed an essential business. So we are up and running and making whiskey twice a day.
That's awesome. That's in the Hudson Valley.
In the heart of the Hudson Valley, under 2 hours from New York. And it's just been an amazing experience for us. We've won lots of awards, and
give me a couple of seconds on the one question I never asked you. How did you guys get into it? Like, what was because it wasn't like 10 years ago you weren't busy with real estate.
I know.
You've been busy the entire time I've known you. So, like, how did that come about?
We should mention it didn't stop with Otto. 2.5 years ago, I had twin brothers. So I have 3 boys 2.5 years ago. The twins, Alex and William, had their 25th birthday here in quarantine. I should go back. 40 days ago, 8 of us moved up to Hillrock. It's become Hillwork. They're all running their businesses from here. Their friends came with us, and now we're actually one of the lovely people that came with us, Lauren, we just met 40 days ago, but now it's like she's family because we've lived together for 40 days.
40 days.
I know. Everybody cooks at night. We do drink too much, but we're so fortunate and lucky to be here and to be safe and healthy.
It's an
But
occupational hazard.
I love New York. I love the cherry blossoms in Central Park right now, and it's the greatest city in the world. So we are dying to get back there.
Yeah, I miss it terribly, terribly. Much more than I thought I would.
I know.
Like we're ready to rock and roll. So what are you watching?
So tonight, we have a virtual cocktail class at 8 where
Yep.
we drink whiskey sours. And Lee, I know you'll be there with us with your whiskey sour.
Right.
Then we're going to binge watch this season of Killing Eve. And we just think that's an amazing show. Have you seen it?
No.
Okay, it's really good.
No, we gave in the other night. I got the kids to watch Groundhog's Day.
Okay.
Because we were like, every day's Groundhog's Day. So we watched Groundhog's Day. But The Hunters.
The Hunters was really good.
Yeah.
Really,
yeah. My mother loved The Hunters, and we said to her, wasn't it a little gory for you? And she's like,
tell your mom I say hello.
I will. She's quarantined in Millwood, and she's cooking every night for her Yorkie. So the two of them are having a really good time. We sent them a case of wine the other day, and of course the FedEx guy shows up on the 10 minutes she decided to take a walk, so I had to come the next day. So, but she's good. I'll pass on the good wishes.
You know, honestly, because I'm running my real estate team from here. We're running Hillrock. My husband is a banker at PJT Park Hill. So we get up every single day between 5:30 and 6. That's the truth, 7 days a week. And we're working all day. And then we do enjoy whiskey or wine and great food, starting probably at about 7:30 or 8. And then we watch something really good.
Have you gotten used to this new normal, or do you still find yourself at points during the day saying, what the hell's going on?
I do find myself at points during the day saying, what the hell's going on? Or very late at night, because some of our sons do not wake up at 5:30. They wake up like a little later, and they're on conference calls, be it for work, but they're on like Zoom conference calls, very loud ones, throughout the entire house till like midnight or 12:30.
Okay. All right. They're good guys. They work hard.
They're good guys who work hard.
They're really good guys. I love them.
A writer, a banker, and a PE tech person.
So it's an outfit.
His friend, a young lady from Jeffries, who's a banker, and Otto's girlfriend's here, who does Gibson Dean candles. So she took over one building.
Well,
yeah.
It's a type A alpha kind of house.
And then there's 6 distillers and Doug, who you've never met, who has been helping with everything. He's part of the Marion, Cathy, Alexis, Pam, and Jamie conference calls.
Super fast because all these conference calls, all these meetings I have to set up for Cathy, it's a little bit much. Marion and Alexis they're way better than I am.
Are they there?
No.
All right, so I only have one question.
Yeah.
I only have one question for Doug before he goes. Is the beard post or pre-quarantine?
Is what?
The beard.
Is it pre?
Oh, it is the quarantine beard.
Really? So you were clean shaven before this?
I was a little scruffy, but not
like this.
It was probably like that.
The beard has to go. And Otto now has a beard. And so many, it's like I'm in the land of beard and men.
I'm still shaving every day. I'm the only guy. I'm still shaving every day. It's crazy. What's the best thing you guys have eaten up there? Because I saw on social media somebody in your neighborhood brought a shepherd's pie at some point, and that looked nuts.
Who's such an amazing chef. She lives here in Millbrook and in Manhattan, and she made those amazing chicken pot pies that you saw, and tarts. And then Adam from Aquilina, which is in New York, they're amazing Tuscan chefs. He's been delivering to the Hamptons on Wednesdays and Fridays and delivering here to Millbrook on Wednesdays. And his lasagnas are to die for.
So is there one thing that you're like, okay, there's one thing you ate that stands in your mind? Like I made a brisket for Passover that is now my new passion of making briskets.
I want to come to your Passover.
It was good. It was 10 hours. It was $225 for 10 hours, and it worked. I was amazed. First brisket in this Jew's life that I ever made. Was there one thing that you ate that you were like, oh, this is just mind-bending?
Okay.
Or has it all been?
It's 3. It was their porcini mushroom lasagna. And then Michelle, which is a club near us, has been making the most amazing ice cream with dulce con leche in it. And we're just like gonna have to go on a juice, like we have to go on a juice cleanse when this is over.
Oh, yes.
And every day we get up and we say, we're gonna be so good today. And let's not drink for like 5 or 6 days. And then 7 o'clock and that's over.
But you are in a distillery, though. It's a little hard.
But I've been loving watching you on the pre-court.
Yeah, I opened my big mouth and said, I came out of the basement and I said, I'm going to try to, a marathon. And the reaction was from the gamut of, you can't have an attack and you can't go to a hospital all the way through. You always say things like this. And then that was Jillian. And I was like, all right, then she put the gauntlet down and I'm like, I can't, that's not the,
you're doing it. It's been so inspirational.
It's 1 mile a day, and today was 19. So yeah, and the things that hurt you wouldn't expect. It's really my Achilles that's killing me. So
so what happened was the first day of quarantine when we were here, and we have our driveway is almost a mile, and it's really steep. I can show you after. So we all are up and down the driveway, and we're right off the Appalachian Trails taking hikes. But the first day we were here, I said, we need a pre-court. In fact, I had seen you on the pre-court. This is 40 days ago. And I called every gym source store in the state, and I got into a bidding war for the pre-court. I did. And then I had to bribe a mover to move it here. I'm embarrassed to say I was a true New Yorker, and we have our pre-court here at the house. It's been everybody's best friend. But
it's fantastic. Thank you. It's fantastic. I left the Peloton in the city, so this is, and so far so good. No attacks, and we're at mile 19, so it's working out. Do you have the head to read? Because I can't focus. I can't pick up a book and read. I don't have the head in all of this to sit and focus for 2 hours.
Read a book. I love books. I'm a lover of reading, but I agree with you there. There's so much going on. And so in my situation, I've got a whole plan here. So there's not a moment where there's not multiple people walking through whatever space I'm in, because I've really been working from the bar, which is what you're seeing here. Do you want to see that?
I do. That's cool. Oh, that's great. So you're at the bar.
In the tasting room. I could show you the still after in the mountain, but there was a great article in American Whiskey Magazine about terroir and the land. I'm geeky about these things. So I loved that.
But don't you think after all of this, these are the things that we all should care about? Like the geeky things and the home things and all that. Yeah.
We're loving playing Scrabble. We're really competitive about it. Scrabble has become like our best friend.
Okay. And
I thought I was really good, but I'm not. But Otto beats us and William beats us.
They went to that small college. What? Right. Exactly. So they're supposed to be.
Well, Otto and Alex, one of the twins and the older one, they were roommates in college.
Okay.
One went to Cambridge. 2 went to Cambridge. 1 went to Philly.
Okay. So they're not slackers. Scrabble should be their thing. Here's a great question. $1,000. Do you take the money or do you get a pedicure?
Okay. This is the truth. I am so dying for a manicure and pedicure, but I think I would take the $1,000.
Really?
I know. I would donate it for face masks for the hospital workers, Mount Sinai, at all the front lines. Because it's just, I'm the daughter. My father was a cardiologist. I grew up with, medical people, doctors around me my whole life, and they were always my heroes.
Sure.
But they are now, I think, the world's heroes. That just the way that people should appreciate all the medical workers is just beyond. It's beyond.
I should have prefaced the question by saying you can't donate the $1,000, but you're right. I mean, right. What can you do for these people who? And
I did that. I've been doing that on a regular basis.
Sure.
All sorts of different organizations, and there's different places that need the face masks or gloves or everything at different times. So you have to really follow it. And the military workers, we got an inquiry a day ago, and it was something, honestly, we hadn't thought about. For military, people in the military, do you give a discount to people in the military? And I was like, oh my God, of course we do. We set up a discount code for our online Hillrock store for military personnel and for hospital workers.
That's great. That's great. I mean, it's everybody that didn't get the credit then. I hope they are. I mean, they are the rock stars now.
Yeah. I hope credit in 5 years from now.
Right. That's what I care about. I hope this stays. This needs to kind of stay. If I hear about a social media influencer as opposed to a nurse, I'm going to hit myself over the head with a brick.
Yeah, I'm so with you.
Or a bottle of Hillrock.
Hillrock, yes.
Sweatpants, have they gotten old? Or are you just...
I'm into my Lululemons. I
yeah.
can't even tell you. And I heard that Anna Wintour is wearing sweatpants now. So
I saw that in the post. You can't see my sweatpants. I have them in like 20 different colors. It's been fantastic. I don't know how a jacket is ever going to make it onto me after this is all over.
Or a button down.
Yeah, but I have one button-down shirt. I wore a button-down shirt for a Zoom Seder, and for a actually that's not true. Our family did a Zoom bar mitzvah early on in this. So the family's got 150 people who show up. Nobody except for maybe 5 people wore suits. I wore a white button down. I had one here, so I wore it. And it was great. When you get back, before we get to the business questions, when you get back, what's the first place you go to eat? What's the first thing you want to do?
Okay. I'm going to pick 2 places.
Okay.
Vico, which is in Carnegie Hill. It's the new Vico. It used to be Vico.
Mm-hmm.
It's really been like our family's cafeteria growing up. It's our favorite go-to. The whole family loves it. And I would say the artichokes and chicken scarparielli from Dewey. I think they're on your list too, right?
Yeah, the artichokes at Dewey. Yeah. I didn't think of them. That's a good one.
And then also, I think like don't walk, run straight to Central Park to see the cherry blossom trees. They're so beautiful and special. And walk the reservoir. This time of year, I have a dog, Shadow. We used to have Storm and Shadow, but Storm was Shadow's brother, and he passed away at Christmas. But with Shadow, we're in the park constantly, and we love Central Park. I don't think people realize Central Park is over 800 acres. I don't know if people realize that. And it really is, I think, the most beautiful park in the world.
I've said for as long as I can remember, they should charge admission. It's so good.
Central Park, yeah.
They really should. The fact that it's free
is just so stunning.
Listen, when I left the city a whole bunch of years ago because I thought living in Westchester had legs.
Where did you live in Westchester?
I lived in Croton for like 2 years, 3 months, and a couple of days. And then I was like, this is not working, came back in, grabbed the dogs, grabbed the television. And the first place I went, everything's set up. I walk out of the apartment. I walked into Barnes & Noble and I sat in the stacks with a coffee. And I was
Jillian born yet? I have to just say, I'm drinking a little bit of our single malt.
Jillian was born in Manhattan. She was born in NYU.
Okay.
But yeah, so that feeling of like just going to the stacks, sitting there with a coffee, sitting in a Barnes & Noble with the interaction of people, taking a deep breath, and I'm like, I'm stuck. This is where I'm going to be, and this is the end of it. And it all worked out. And hopefully,
Native New Yorker.
I was fighting it for the first 50 something years, and I just gave in and said, okay, this is what it is. I'm kidding. My whole life, I lived out of 2 years, and I went to school in DC, and every other day, it's been in New York. So I want to go back. I want to see what's going on. I want to scream and hit pots at 7 o'clock at night. That would be nice.
I think it's also so important. This is such a horrible, horrible time that is happening now. And you and I were friends during 9/11. We've been through so many, disasters, stock market crashes, all the trials and tribulations of life, right?
Right.
And this is so horrible. But New York City is such an amazing city, and the texture, the culture, the museums, Broadway, the off-Broadway theater, the restaurants. There will be a vaccine going forward. It's going to be quite a bit of time. Everybody has to stay home and stay safe and really follow what the medical community is telling them to do, but New York will be the hustle and bustle and the beautiful city that we know in the future.
I agree. I agree. It doesn't have a choice. It's like New York can't run at 50% speed. It can't run half speed. So it's really just a question of getting back up to speed. And then, everybody just needs to kind of keep this in their head and keep focused on the important things. It's been a pause for a lot of people.
Taking it one day at a time.
Absolutely.
And following Andrew Como, I just want to say, we love him.
Love him.
At my house, we love Andrew Como. He has been a true hero in all of this, and you just have to follow the instructions that he gives.
He's so
good.
And he delivers the information. It's the only thing you want to watch during the day. And then you go like, I don't want to see any of this, and I'm kind of done and all of that. So let's talk business. And before you tell me what's going on, give a shout out to my friend Pam Liebman. I see her on Instagram. And if you talk to her soon, I'm sure you will, tell her I miss her. What are you doing business-wise?
So, that's really important that you mentioned Pam. So Corcoran has really become, we joined them in 2015, literally the first week of 2015. And for us, for Marion, Alexis, and Jamie and I, it's really our extended family. I talk to Pam almost every single day, be it 6 a.m. in the morning or 10 o'clock at night,
sure.
Or if you can't reach me, her calling somebody in my family to find me. She's on that cocktail class. I mean, we talk to her all the time, and she updates us daily and really helps me to navigate this new world. I know Corcoran has made 200 deals since March 14th.
Really?
Yeah, 100%, and has done 1,000 leases, rental leases. For myself, we went into this, we have $133 million of signed contracts. We've closed on quite a few of them, and this is for 2020.
Sure.
We're not going to get where we were last year, but I think we will come out of this. We're really fortunate, my team, and we do work around the clock, and before this happened, we were working around the clock. We're going to come out of this okay. We had a virtual walkthrough a week ago.
How'd that go?
An engineer inspector. It was very interesting. And we were very lucky. It was a townhouse, so easier to do with leaving the package, the rubber gloves, the mat, everything was done very safely. And then the lawyers were great about it. They did a virtual closing. So we did do a closing on a beautiful house in Greenwich Village. We've been doing all of our board packages getting submitted virtually. All of the managing agents are now working, with us on that, and they've been in very close contact. We had a lovely couple for a penthouse that we're selling on Park Avenue had a virtual interview.
Really?
Yeah, virtual interview. So on Zoom, I think Zoom has become one of the most important things in everybody's lives.
Yes.
So we are doing business. We are being very safe. We're not walking into properties. We don't want to endanger anybody. Corcoran has been incredibly supportive and helpful with technology and doing everything virtually and getting videos very, very quickly and pictures and just everything visual that people can see from their computers, from their iPhones, from their iPads. This has been great for me because I am not the most technologically advanced. I have to admit that.
Okay.
They've been really supportive. And it's a new world. So we're going to have to do everything in a very, very safe way, protect our buyers, protect our sellers, and move forward. But we are still seeing our people very, very involved, and it's again, the new.
Do you think it stays the new? Do you think a chunk of this stays the new normal? Like Zoom, like having Zoom virtual walkthroughs and things like that. Are people going to want to give it up if they want to buy the property and they want to stay at East Hampton and they don't want to be bothered with it? If they're comfortable now, do you think they'll stay comfortable with this?
I don't think people are going to go to closings like they used to.
Right.
I think they're going to depend more on their lawyers or their brokers to be at closings and go through the facts. And they could literally be zoomed in and visually see and hear everything at the closing.
Sure.
I think where people used to fly across the country or to another state for a meeting, when you think about how many times people, myself included, have flown for a 3-hour meeting and flown back, I think going forward, people are going to be working through Zoom, through WebEx, through FaceTime, through whatever it may be, to try to be more efficient in that and not be flying or driving across the country and across the world.
Right.
And that note, in terms of real estate, I think people's homes are going to become so much more important. In speaking to so many of my clients, friends, family, everybody is right now nesting at home, spending a lot more time with their family.
Yep.
We know they all love most of the time, or a good amount of the time, right? And I think people are really appreciating having a wonderful living room, having a dining room or a dining area. Kitchens have become crucial, which Lee is very important for you, because Lee, you make the nicest kitchen. You even made the kitchen for my ex-husband, who till this day raves about having the most beautiful kitchen. We're good friends, so it's
I love your ex-husband. I love your ex-husband.
His kitchen is truly stunning. But I think kitchens, everybody's cooking. I see everybody posting and sharing all their family recipes, all their cooking. I've surprised myself with starting to cook at like 3 and 4 in the morning.
Oh my God.
That I have a cooking side to me. Because, you know, I'm Italian. People don't realize I'm half Italian. So doing some of my family's old recipes, because my husband's an amazing cook, so I usually don't cook, but quarantine has brought out a little bit of the chef in me. But I do think people are going to be looking for homes with those wonderful areas to gather, to have small gatherings, to be with their family, to be able to spend time at home, be it the home office, a home gym, a fabulous kitchen, living room. Everybody wants a fireplace. We've been using our fireplaces nonstop. It's been a really chilly April, except if you're in Florida, I guess.
Right.
But all of those things, having some outdoor space, I think is going to become a huge, unique, desirable thing. High ceilings, but home spaces are really, really important. And I think during quarantine, people that have had homes that they're so comfortable in, that they love, that they've made their special spaces, they're really appreciating it so much more. And
it's what they're going to look back on and say, okay, I've got the space. And if they don't have it, then the question is, they're going to want it. They're going to look for it. Where do you think it plays out between new construction and co-ops and townhomes? Do you have any one of those, or houses, obviously out of the city? Do you have one of those things that you'd stake your horse on and said, this is the thing that's going to really start to take off more than another?
I think I can't predict what's going to take off, but I personally have been getting a lot of calls for townhouses and a lot of calls for pre-war original architecture when we were speaking about terraces, set fireplaces, high ceilings, windows, but people wanting to be near Central Park. I think so many people have enjoyed walking in the park during this period, and then people wanting to be near the parks downtown, be it Madison Square Park, Washington Square Park, all the parks downtown.
It makes the difference. It really does. It's a
huge difference to be near a park, yes.
Or the river.
Or the river. The river is beautiful. On the west side, walking up down the Hudson, or the east side. And hoping down the road, being able to bicycle, right, or skateboard.
Listen, I'm on First Avenue, and we go down to the river and walk the dogs, and it's just fantastic. And it's not the Central Park experience, but it's a different element, and you have the water, and it's fantastic.
When you walk around Gracie Mansion, all that. Well, it's fabulous.
It's fabulous.
And it's beautiful the way Central Park is beautiful.
So the first week, this proverbial green light goes on. What do you think it looks like? And nobody's got a crystal ball. But are you part-time back? Are you full-time back? Is your team, cranking at 50%? What do you think it's going to look like?
I think we'll be full-time back.
Okay.
We're all very eager to be full-time back.
Right.
I think we will wear gloves. We will wear face masks. I just ordered some beautiful face masks made out of gingham. Alexis did too.
Okay.
And I think we'll be full steam ahead. We have a lot of beautiful properties that we're representing.
And inquiries are out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just got 4 inquiries when we were on the phone.
That's
the new
amazing.
listing that we put on at the Empire that we're not allowed to show now, but we're getting inquiries there daily. Another listing, a beautiful, huge apartment with terraces at 778 Park. I'm getting inquiries all the time.
Wow, that's great.
Of our listings.
And how do you think prices are going to play into this?
I wish I had a crystal ball on that. What do you think?
You know, I think people are going, nothing has really changed. In my business, the number one driver is labor. And so labor and insurance is all the same. It's not changing. And considering that the insurance companies have to make payments, it's not changing anytime soon. That is the number one driver. I can get tile, I can get stone, I can get product. The internet opened that up years and years ago. But labor is still the number one driver. So I think people are going to come back and they're going to be, I can get a renovation at 70 cents on the dollar. And I don't know about that unless you're willing to give up something, and maybe it's the quality of the labor. As far as prices go, I think that things that need renovation, sellers are going to have to get the joke, or they're going to have a problem, because you're looking at a year process, give or take, to gut something and buy it and design it. And now you're asking people to make decisions in an uncertain world, and then hope that you're able to keep doing that throughout the whole process. So I think sellers are going to have a little bit more pressure on them than they even had at the beginning of the year. I think new construction is, if somebody wants to buy something with that outdoor space and they're ready to cut a check, I think Related's going to take their check in about 5 seconds. But I think you hit it on the head. I think townhouses are going to become the new big deal. Yeah. That to me is a big deal. Townhouses that people can get that space, control who comes in, all of those things, virtual doormen, that's going to be the big deal. And, it makes perfect sense. And, we want
apartments that allow people to live, and not be apartments that allow people to have that space of the living room, the open kitchen or the big kitchen, which they can hang out in, are going to be really important too.
Oh, I think it's going to be tremendous. I think I'm going to be obliterating maids' rooms all over the place because, and they're going to be blowing up.
Start making those cabinets and getting all those baking and Gagano appliances.
Our mill worker is supposed to be starting drawings on projects starting on Monday, because they're going to start drawing from home, because there's going to be a backlog of work and all that. And the reality is, second homes, people outside the city, if they don't have it now, they're going to be looking for a place. Yeah. So, they'll buy that apartment, they'll buy that townhouse, but they're going to look for something that they can just go to. I've got a ton of friends who had things, sold them in the last couple of years. I don't think they've ever been more regretful that they don't have the place. So I've never loved this house more than I've loved it in the last 31 days.
Greatly. You're going to have to give me a tour later. I'll say how to get out there.
Well, there's stuff all over the place, but I can show you around. The kitchen is
it looks like the teak ceiling. I know you're going to have the best kitchen.
There's my pizza oven from Naples.
And I do too.
Yeah, it's the best. I should have put a gas burner in it when I put it in, but I didn't think it was authentic. If I put a gas burner in, I'd use it twice as much, because it takes like 6 hours to get it to 700 degrees, but when it's cooking, it's fantastic.
Mine is 200 years old, of course. Yeah.
Of course.
And it runs by a fireplace, but it's original. To Israel Harris, who was one of the Green Mountain Boys, that, he was a Revolutionary War hero with Ethan Allen.
Okay.
Ethan Allen is not the furniture maker.
I know.
He actually conquered Vermont. He was a great. But so our house, so we have that wood stove. You were mentioning Passover. On Passover, we had the fire department here and the police department, because my husband decided to make the chickens in the wood stove, and I don't know what happened, but there was smoke everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Fireman Passover.
How are the chickens?
What?
How did the chickens come out?
Amazing. I'm not going to lie. They were amazing.
The chickens were great. So you're back. What's the little thing? Like, we've known each other 20 something years. What's the little thing when you're back that you're going to, or you're doing, or just the one little thing
So I'm going to run to Central Park.
Sure.
I love Central Park. And I'm going to want to see my friends. I don't know how that's going to work, but I miss my friends. I miss my sisters. I have so many sisters. I miss my friends so, so much. I cannot believe I haven't seen Alexis and Marion we didn't see Marion before this because she's fine. She never got sick, but she was in quarantine because her rector at her church had the virus. So she and her whole family went into quarantine and they were all fine. But I haven't seen Marion in like 54 days.
Oh my God.
I know, and I'm used to seeing her every single day.
Every day.
Every day, every minute.
It's the people
And I want to see you.
I know it's crazy. It's just, it's that connection.
Me has a key to my house.
I do. I have the key. I keep it with me. I think it's really important for people to know one thing about you, aside from all that, given your level of success and given the level of the success of the team, if there's one thing I can tell people, it is how crazy down to earth you are. Even our plumber who we share, Anthony, who takes care of your house, right? Everybody says the same thing, is your personal connection with everybody who's in your life is really something that, I want, I emulate. I want to be like that because it doesn't really matter whether it's somebody buying a $60 million house or it's Anthony, who's a great guy, but, he is our plumber. You hold everybody in that same way. And when it's the truth. When you show apartments and when you introduce me to clients, you're so ingrained in their family and what they're all about. I have to believe that's one of the big reasons why $500 million in 2019. It's crazy. It's amazing.
I gotta believe that some of my kids have enjoyed the living at home so much, they've given up their apartments and are moving back. And they're going to be bothering you.
That's not good.
I know. It's not good.
That's not good. Get them.
I don't people know they're 6'5" and 6'4".
That's yeah. These are large people. Before I say goodbye to you, I'll say a little mini goodbye. You want to give me a little tour and show me around? Show us around.
I would love to.
All right.
Barley fields that are future single malt. I'd love to.
All right. So we're going to segue out of this and show you guys the video of Hillrock because it's unbelievable and enjoy it. Stay safe. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. I've already opened it. It's ready. It doesn't have to breathe. Send my love to everybody. I'll see you at 8 o'clock tonight. And thank you so much for doing this. And send my best to everybody.
Okay.
Bye, sweetie.